Okay, we're sitting here in our green jackets. We'll tell you about that in just a minute.
Beer Talk.
Here we are with
Beer Talk.
All right, what a day we had. Two excursions. But first, we're on a Atlas venture here, and we've got our great coats that are part of the program. And we kind of match in green, don't we?
Yeah, it's either that or we're forming a new singing group, which ain't going to happen. So
there
they
you go.
give you these coats to keep track of you, I think.
Yeah,
If you fall in, they want to see where the body can be picked up.
But they're great coats. They're waterproof. They're extra. That, by the way, that noise you just heard is a whale right off the back of the ship.
You see it out there?
Yeah, it's got to be right behind it. It was just right
You would have
here.
been right there.
There
There he
it
is. Hello.
It
Mike.
just surfaced, Peter. That is great. We got it on film, or you did, or on tape, or video, or whatever you call that.
We should have the audio anyway.
I like the iceberg over there too.
Way too cool. Well, it was headed around the side of the ship, so
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
All right, we were distracted by a whale. Let's get back over to the table here. It's kind of fun doing beer talk from the back deck of the ship and having whales, and you can't see it over there also, but we've got a nice big iceberg off to the
the other
side.
camera, right?
Yeah, just but we got a Zodiac coming in.
Yeah. Anyway, that sound was a humpback whale that had just surfaced right off the back of the ship.
How cool is that?
It's unbelievable. It must have been 20 feet off the back of the ship.
Right.
What were we talking about anyway?
We were talking about these green jackets, but
Let's move on.
moving right along.
Yeah. So the first excursion in the morning.
Portal Point. Portal Point is where we stopped, yeah.
What do you remember about that, Tim?
That's where we climbed up, and Maggie and I got a picture of us holding the Antarctica flag, and there was what kind of seal? A fur seal.
Yeah.
Right there. And then there are penguins everywhere.
So you holding the flag, what did that symbolize for you guys? How many continents have you been?
That was number 7.
Was that 7 for you too?
7th continent, yeah, for us. We were actually on continental Antarctica.
And now we're incontinent.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was only 6 for me. So
Yeah.
you guys are ahead of the game. So
That's all right. We'll get it. Don't you worry, not.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was an unbelievably good day.
It was. We hiked up over to the left first.
Yeah.
And
Up a snowy path. Yeah.
you could just the view was spectacular, and I know many of you think of Antarctica as snow and white, but it's beautiful down here, and the contrast with the rocks and the wildlife,
And the glaciers, the blue color of the glaciers, and the floating icebergs, it's hard to describe.
Yes.
It's not flat by any means. There are mountains everywhere. 2,000-foot mountains coming right up out of the sea. So it's very different than we've all imagined over the years, where you just see that flat expanse of snow forever.
Yeah. Now there was a fur seal that kept us from going on the path, and that was interesting. First off, there was a gal that was walking over towards it and didn't even see it there, it had to be told to back away, and it started.
Yeah,
you know,
they can
making
be
itself known.
aggressive, and this one was. He was not happy. I think we were either too close, or he wanted to go, or she wanted to go down to the water, and we were in the way, whatever. But it kind of charged a bit at us and made some loud honking sounds. But again, one of the expedition leaders was right there and kind of made themselves tall and stopped, and the seal turned around and walked away,
Yeah.
or whatever they did.
Oh, yeah.
Waddle.
Yeah. And we continued on
Yeah.
up to the right, and there was the option to even go further down to an old historical site. We opted not, because that was going to be going down snow and ice, which meant we had to go back up snow and ice.
Yeah.
So didn't do
And
that.
we were using poles.
But it was just an old leftover, kind of the foundation of a British research station here.
Yeah, and penguins. There were penguins down there, but we left the penguins alone because that would have meant going down and then back up.
So it was another wet landing where you have to wade through the water to get to the Zodiac and get in and come back, and obviously a nice big lunch, and then back out that afternoon.
Yes, yeah, and there was what do you call it? The programs that they put on.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of
Lectures.
Lectures, yes.
Put on.
Just full of a lot of information. So there hasn't been any downtime, hardly at all.
No.
That's why we get behind with Beer Talk. We don't
Yeah.
have the
Everything
right.
I ever wanted to know about ice, or all the different kinds of seals or penguins or something. There's an expert on here who knows all of that stuff.
Now our afternoon expedition was
Spectacular. Whale City.
Whale City, and we saw I don't know how many whales, and
Humpback whales feed by usually 2 or 3 or 4 of them, making a spiral of bubbles, and that forces the krill up this spiral of bubbles towards the surface, and at least one of the whales comes up through the center, and you get to see it poking up probably 6, 8, 10 feet above the surface with just nothing but whale mouth.
Yeah.
Full of krill, and that's what we got there. Krill. That's what we got to see, which I'd never seen. Just that vertical feeding behavior. It was everywhere. It was.
I don't know how many whales we saw, but it was.
And if you like that fluke, that tail whale coming up,
oh, I've got so many tails.
yeah,
Well, you already had tails, but
yeah, it was marvelous. Just everywhere we looked, whales, blowing vapor and just.
And that was a Zodiac tour. So, we're in the Zodiac out there right down on the water with all this going on.
Yeah.
It was spectacular.
Yeah, and it was raining, cold rain. It's 32 degrees and rain. We didn't care. It was amazing.
Now, it was cold, but we weren't chilled.
Nah.
But later you were, weren't you?
yes, I was, because when we came back from the excursion, about half of the people on the boat signed up for what's called the polar plunge. So my wife and I, she wore a bathing suit. Well, we each wore a bathing suit, put on
We
robes.
appreciate that.
Yes,
separate
of course.
bathing suits.
Yeah, because people. Yeah, they told me to put my suit on because people were trying to eat, and we went down, and they did about 10 of us at a time, and where we embark and disembark off the boat, there was 2 of them, 2 sides, and the fellow was in one taking your picture, and then you step down, and they put a belt around you with a cord attached. And I had bare skin. They put that on, and it's like, it's really cold. And then we walk down and take our turns and jump into the water.
I will note that the water is ice cold. You can see the ice in it.
Yes, and
ice, by the way, in seawater freezes at below 32 degrees, freezes about 29 degrees. So the water he jumped into, this fool jumped into, is not 32.
I was not going to do it, but there's a group of young people, one fella and his wife, and the rest were all women. they were all going to do it, and we started to get to know them. And my wife said she wanted to do it, and I thought, how can I not do it if she did it? So we were kind of guilted into go. I was kind of guilted into going, but we get down to the edge, and it's like, oh, and I jumped in. My voice went up about 5 octaves, and these guys were up above filming, so we've got a
We were up
video.
there laughing.
Yes,
And drinking.
Yeah.
and I'll tell you
And
what,
warm.
it was cold.
So, Mike, I do have a question.
What?
You didn't succumb to peer pressure on that.
Not a chance.
I
Not a
didn't
chance.
either.
Peer pressure doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
No.
Tim?
But these
I tell you what, I'm glad I did it. The fella who was one of the ornithologists on the boat from Scotland, he's done it like 14 times this trip. So anyway, there was an 80-plus-year-old woman from Australia that did it.
Yeah, I think they jump in every time they're off their medicines. if they're taking their psychotic medicines, they're okay. They don't jump in.
I've got antipsychotic medication, but I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, but it's over now.
But boy, it was cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the young people, there's a group from Chicago area that are just delightful.
Well, there was the first woman who did the
Yes.
plunge is from Mongolia, and she went in and then laid on her back and was floating there. And it's like I went down. I actually injured my shoulder because I couldn't get out fast enough.
She was in the water, I think, 2 minutes. Everybody else, I think the record was maybe 5 seconds. Never seen anybody scramble like
Oh,
that.
man.
Out of that. Anyway, so
that was entertaining.
That was the polar
Thank-
plunge.
Thank you, Tim.
You were welcome.
Yeah.
and the highlights are one of the highlights of the Zodiac went out in the afternoon on this cold afternoons. Come back in hot chocolate with amarula or Bailey's in it. Today it was, there was hot cider
With
with
bourbon.
Oh, man.
And the other thing, there's an open bar that is available 24 hours a day. You can call at midnight if you want alcohol brought to your room.
Why would you want to?
I don't know, but
But just in case.
just in case.
Just in case. Yeah.
But case you need to finish off your episode of Beer Talk.
I got distracted. There's penguins over there. See them over there?
Yeah.
They're off the camera shot, so I can't show them.
Yeah.
So this has been
Beer Talk.